So you'll kind of see how this plays out. So for the non-electrical engineering people in the room, myself included, circuit diagram, right? We've got positive voltage, negative voltage, or I'm sorry, ground down here. Here's a start button, a stop button, okay? Limit switch that's attached to a door. There's a coil to a contactor. That coil controls these contacts that then power up this motor that has some hazard spinning around on it. Okay. So this is my device that I'm powering that is causing a hazard. And then here is the coil that powers that device. Okay, it could be a motor, could be whatever. It's mostly motors are what's causing hazards. As I said, things that are moving, but that's what we're using in this case. Okay, so category B, single channel. Okay, and by the way, the safety circuit, I want to point out, the safety circuit is comprised of the safety input, the logic of the safety circuit, and the output of the safety circuit. And the safety circuit is intended to be on top of the existing machine control. Okay, and I'll kind of have some other graphics to show you this. But the machine control could be considered as the start and the stop. Okay, the safety circuit is the input. There is no logic in here. It's direct logic. It's just this opens, that shuts off. So it's input, output. Okay, so input, output. Okay, so we've got a single channel. Door closes, limit switch closes, powers up this contactor. These things close, motor starts spinning, dangerous stuff starts happening. Okay, that's category B. Basically, it says category B. It's this directly out of the standards. This shall be designed, constructed, selected, and assembled and confined in accordance with the relevant standards and use basic safety principles for the specific application intended to withstand expected operating stresses. Okay, the maximum performance level achieved with this category, right? If we have a really high MTTFD and we have a really good diagnostic coverage, is performance level B. We don't see category B a lot. It applies very low risk situations, right? Where a performance level B is required. But basically all the standards say is put stuff on there that's not going to fall off and break. That's it. Don't have to monitor anything. If this limit switch goes bad, nobody knows. Okay, so you can see there's not a lot going on in terms of safeguarding that. Okay, this is category 1. You guys see the difference there? What just happened? Do you notice this change, right? Now I have that arrow with a circle around it. You guys know what that stands for? Okay, that stands for positive force guided, which is a feature of a safety rated device. So literally all that changed in the circuit is I took that limit switch and I replaced it with a safety rated limit switch. Okay, it's to meet category 1. And that's right here. Shall be designed and constructed using well-tried components and well-tried safety principles. This is safety talk, well-tried components and well-tried safety principles. That's like safety talk for use safety rated devices on your circuit. Okay. I would encourage everyone, regardless of performance level, to always use safety rated inputs, safety rated logic, if there's any logic happening with what that input controls, and safety rated outputs. I just recommend that as a base level because it keeps us out of trouble. But at a minimum for category 1, you have to use safety rated components. And so we're seeing it here. Okay. Maximum performance level achievable is a performance level C. That's if all those other factors are really good. Okay. Still single channel. Like if this thing were to weld shut, right? We would never know it. There's nothing monitoring that. Okay, so this is single channel, no monitoring. This corresponds to that 0 to 6, that low risk. Okay. What happened there? Okay, do you see what happened there? We added this little guy, the safety relay. Okay, machine control didn't change. Start, stop. This is, by the way, is an auxiliary contact off of this contactor. Okay, so we still have our safety rated input. Okay, we still have our single output. And now we have this little safety relay here. Any idea what that's doing?
Making sure all the conditions are met.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure all the conditions are met. Spot on. It's monitoring things. So what is it monitoring? It's monitoring this input, okay? And it's monitoring this output, which this, by the way, is an auxiliary contact taken off of this contactor that controls the power to the hazard. So what the safety rated controller is doing is it's basically making sure that things are switching, functioning in the safety circuit as they should. And if they're not, it's going to throw an alarm and it's gonna shut the system off until you address that problem. Okay. That's category 2. And we can actually meet a performance level D with the category 2 circuit. Okay. So this guy is single channel. We talk single channel with monitoring. Okay. Medium risk. Dual channel redundant. Okay. You guys see what changed there? Now we have 2 inputs, each individually wired to the safety relay. So in other words, if something happens on this contact where this opens, but this doesn't, he's going to detect that. We have 2 outputs. So if one of them fails to open, the other one's going to open and remove power, and we're monitoring both of them. Okay. That's a dual channel redundant safety system with monitoring. And that's for anything that's high risk. So this is where, yes, sir.
Does it call out anywhere as far as like resetting? Because this is a auto resetting circuit. Doesn't have an actual, like, is there?
That's a
any
great.
verbiage in there that says calls out something as far as like having a falling edge signal?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as far as resetting goes, if there's ever anything that you can pass through, you need to have a physical reset happen. This could be, an auto reset where it's like a guard door where you're opening it, you're reaching in, you're closing it. The system would need a start signal at minimum. But yes, a reset is an important piece and most often required. This example doesn't have the reset. It's just start or stop. So you're exactly right. This is an auto reset, basically. And let's see. So category 3 looks a lot like category 4. The main difference between category 3 and category 4 is this feature here where the accumulation of undetected faults is taken into account. Okay. For category 3, if we have a situation where there are multiple faults, it could, very low probability, but it could defeat the safety system. Okay. Category 4 will protect against that. Okay, so it's another level. Okay, again, very, very low probability that happens, but in a high risk situation, that's what category 4 is going to buy you. It will detect the fault immediately. Okay, category 3, you might not always detect the fault immediately. You might only detect it when you go to open that specific door. Yes, sir.
So can you give an example of what an actual system that would distinguish between those two? Like how is it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can.
The other.
Yeah, so yeah.